Welcome to Spare Bedroom Studios, where big sounds are born in small rooms.
Hey, welcome to Prime Joe Time with me, Joe Stoneberg. Today with me is Jared McComb on the Spare Bedroom Studios Productions. So Jared was a pro MMA fighter, business owner, Triple M Painting, BJJ black belt, and an all-around good man. He was one of my mentors, and I'm really happy to have him here today. I just want to thank you for your time, and thanks for coming, Jared.
Oh, thanks, Joey. Good to hear.
Oh, man, I'm so glad you're here. So just get into your background. So you grew up in Alberta.
Yeah.
And like where?
I grew up right in Edmonton, left West End Edmonton, and I lived here pretty much my entire life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember we spent so much time together over the years and so many good times. And I just remember you telling me that you grew up Mormon. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I don't really have any other childhoods to compare it to, but I had loving parents and they were really great. And Mormon's a lot like Christian. They share a lot of the same values and stuff like that. So we grew up, living the 10 Commandments and making sure that we were honest and hardworking. And I would say the things that came out of there, I came out of my childhood with loving parents who supported me the best that they could.
Yeah, I just remember you're telling me just the difference between my youth experience, like you guys had some strict rules, for instance, coffee. I remember you told me you couldn't drink coffee or caffeine products or I don't know if I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, now I drink it like it's going out of style, right? That's one of the things you can't do. Tea is one of them as well. There's some teas that are cool, but yeah, it's like anything with the tea leaf. There's no gambling, no drinking. What else was there? There's no illegal drugs and stuff like that. So they're pretty big on those kind of things.
Yeah, well, so for me, I experienced with alcohol in high school. So that would have not happened for
Not me. That doesn't mean just because it didn't happen to me doesn't mean it doesn't happen to a lot of Mormons.
Yeah.
I found out later that a lot of kids were doing it, even though I didn't know about it. I just wasn't really cool and didn't get invited to those things. But yeah, for me, I wasn't really around that stuff. No drinking, no drugs, really. Just pretty stayed at home mostly and played a lot of video games. I was a bit of a shut-in as a school kid. I kind of came out of my shell in 12th grade, probably, and kind of went from there.
Yeah. And then I remember as I got to know you more, you told me about this mission you went on, which I found really interesting. Can you explain what a mission is? And
yeah, dude. Mission was sweet. That was a really good time. So yeah, when you're Mormon, you're heavily encouraged as a guy, and I think now it's getting to the point where it says girls too. You're heavily encouraged to go on a mission. You get out there and you wake up and study your scriptures. Wake up at 6:30, study your scriptures, and then you go knock on doors at 10 o'clock in the morning and try to get people to join the church.
wow.
Yeah, and you do it for 2 years. It was very committed, and you'd have basically half a morning and an afternoon a week to take care of your stuff. We called that preparation day. And other than that, no, it was knocking doors, having appointments, and trying to teach people about the church.
Were people generally nice, or did you get people who are rude? Or
that's funny. So I served in Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota's a really Christian state. Everyone there was mostly Catholic and Lutheran. Really, really nice people. So when we knocked on the doors, it was yeah, thanks, but saved by grace. I'm good. Thank you. And they're really polite. And then the last 3 months, I went up to Thunder Bay, Ontario. So different country. And I don't know. You cross the border and it was different. So anyway, I'd be like, hey, we're missionaries. Can we come in? They're like, no. They weren't nice at all. They were just screw off. So it was, I don't know. That was, there's a lot of nice people though, man. We had a lot of good times and yeah, there was I met some awesome people. There's some jerks, but whatever. What are you going to do?
I was always wondering about that. I don't know if there's like a selection process, like in the church, like for certain people to go, or if you're just told like, hey, you're going to go on a mission when you hit a certain age.
Like I said, it's heavily encouraged as a male, at least when I was growing up. You don't have to, but there's a lot of benefits, especially in the culture for you. It's you get the status of return missionary, which got you married, which got you the girls and stuff like that. I'm kidding around.
Huh.
There's some status there when you've served a mission. As if you're looking kind of like documentary style. But yeah, I decided to go, and I saw that there was going to be a lot of growth and stuff like that, and it was wicked. You get away. I lived away from my family for 2 years. 2 calls home a year. There was Mother's Day and Christmas. Those were the 2 calls. Everything else was done by letter, like write out correspondence. Like you'd put a stamp on the envelope and you'd send it out. So every week, I had to write a letter, and then we actually started with the email, but I wasn't very good at that stuff though. So there's a little bit of email. Now I think it's pretty high tech.
So was this like, did you have cell phones, or was this kind of a
Not at that point. I think the guys have them now, but at that point, this is 2003 to 2005.
Okay.
When I got home in 2005, it got to the point where everyone had a cell phone. And I would say, like, while I was gone, that became commonplace. But there was still like flip phone days and those kind of things. Okay. Now I think they're on social media and they try to hit you up and they're texting and they're doing all kinds of stuff like that.
So like, that's pretty wild, man. So yeah, you finish your mission, you get home, and then after that, what happens?
You go get married and have kids.
So I remember you got married, right? You were pretty young. I was pretty sure.
Yeah. I was 23 when I got married. So I got home. Let's see. I got home. I was 21. I turned 22 like a couple months after. And then, I guess I got married at 22. And then I had my first Jackson. I was 23 when Jackson was born.
Yeah.
So I had kids right away. Yeah. We just jumped right into it.
Yeah. And you got some, you have a beautiful children. Like I know all your children. They're awesome. He's working out with you now. We'll get into that later. You transitioned into that. So you finished that, and then you decided that you're no longer. Are you involved with the church at all now, or did you kind of move away from that?
Not anymore. I would say I was kind of bitter back in those days, but over time, I don't really care. And I still got a lot of friends. In fact, I moved maybe half a block away from an old friend. Mm-hmm. I just moved recently, so but. I rarely saw the guy, and now I see him a little more often because we're in the same community, but it's not like I'm like angry at him or anything. But yeah, for church, I'm just not involved anymore. Kind of a little over it.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah. So you finish with that, and then you, interestingly enough, you go from that to MMA fighting and training.
Yeah, and actually there was some overlap there. I remember being halfway active in the church when I started training. I remember going and talking to a couple of my friends at church that were fans as well. But yeah, I got into that. That was like, yeah, that's a bit of a story. Do you want to hear the story?
Of course. 100%. I love the story, man.
All right. Long story long. Here we go. Let's go. I was just trying to get into shape. I was the fat kid growing up. I was always kind of chubby and had a lot of bad eating habits. At the time, I thought it was just workout and then you get rid of it. But that's down the road. But anyway, so I'd been working out, hitting those cross type workouts, circuit workouts with my buddy from church. And then my brother-in-law invited me to watch UFC 84. And that was, the main event on that one was BJ Penn versus Sean Shark.
Oh, Muscle Shark.
Yeah. And I'd never seen UFC before. I kind of like, what was that old channel that used to show the what was it called? What's that? Spike. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
on the Spike. You know, you kind of see some replays or whatever, but I didn't really watch it too often. But so that was my first time, and man, holy cow, that was a stacked card. Everyone got knocked out or crazy. Like Lyoto Machida was in that fight. He fought Tito Ortiz. He submitted him. BJ Penn kneed Sean Shirk's face off. What else happened? Vanderlei Silva killed somebody. I think he knocked out Keith Nardine, I think, or frick, I can't remember. But like
That was a good card. What have to look at.
wild knockouts. And like I remember my heart just beating so much, so hard when I was like I couldn't believe it.
So that caught your attention.
Yeah, because you grow up watching movies and the guys are boom. It's like, and what I saw was like, what the hell happened? The guy just dropped,
Yeah.
like dead, right? And then with a trained eye, as you see it, and as you see it in slow motion, it's you see what happens. It's a very small shot, but the big thing that stuck out there was it was like how much could happen in an MMA fight and how unpredictable it was.
It's like a chess game, but there's like serious consequences. It's mind and body chess. It's amazing. And I've actually seen you fight. So you do this, and then where do you start training? Like, what did you start training immediately after this? Did this inspire you?
Okay, so yeah, I guess that's just the start of the story. Right. That's my first thing. And actually, later on, I think it was that night, I was talking to my brother. He's like, what do you think of it? What was it? And I said, it was like, oh, it was awesome. I think I could do this. And my brother told me this story like 10 years ago, or 10 years later, like, oh, did I say that? I didn't even know. And then it ended up happening. But so here's the story. I saw these guys and they're all in sick shape, 6-pack and all that kind of stuff. And I just started working out and I'm like, that's what I want to look like. I want to look like those guys. And look, they're badass and they kick some ass and they're all covered in tattoos. And at the time, remember those MMA? There was like that board short style.
Yeah.
Right.
The sprawl.
Sprawl and all those kind of things. True Religion was huge at that time.
Bad boy.
Yeah, Bad Boy. Bad Boy was sweet. I used to wear the short shorts. Those were sick. Iconic, man. Iconic with the Shogun shorts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I saw that and I was, oh, that's really cool. At the time I was playing ball hockey or whatever. And
yeah.
I was really into that, whatever that is. And then been watching some MMA and I went to a local event and I saw these two guys and they had their first fight ever. Both of them were Ono, pro fighters, 185 pounds. And that's kind of what I was like, I think that's going to be my weight class. Let's get a look at these guys. And I was like, man, I could beat those dudes. Give me a year. I'll do it. Right. So I met with a friend of mine that was showing me a little bit of MMA. And I was like, hey, bro, like, I saw these guys. I think we could do it. What do you think? Like in a year, if I trained every day, twice a day, could I do this? And he's like, yeah. I really shouldn't have listened to him. He was a brutal coach, but that's down the road. That's another story. I didn't do that. But we got our start, and, you know, it just, to a lot of people that overthink, sidebar. To a lot of people that overthink, just get started. You're probably going to suck anyway. You don't have to be perfect at what you're doing. Yeah. So just get started. So that was, and I got started, and maybe my first year training wasn't good enough, but I learned in my first fight that it wasn't good enough. So I had to step it up.
I remember you told me the story and you said that you trained and the individual was coaching you. He didn't show up, if that's correct, I believe.
Yeah, he had to bail the week out before my fight. And
your coach.
Yeah. Supposedly training me and taking my money and all that kind of stuff too, right? But whatever.
And what happened? What happened in the fight, your first fight?
Yeah, so I was working with another guy, Chris, who was good enough to corner me. And oh man, I think back on it now, like I'd been on the other side where it's like, I don't want you to do it. You're not ready. But it's like the guy's so hungry and he gets in there. So that was me. I'm like, no, I'm ready to go, and I could do this. And I got in there in 13 seconds. I was knocked out.
Oh,
Like,
I remember. you told me.
KTFO. Like, actually, I was out on my feet, and I saw a video of it later. So you look at me, and I just like the dead stare, right? No, I was like comatose on my feet, but walking around. And it was funny. The ref, who's like a pretty prominent ref now, like that was his first fight. Was my first fight. We go way back. This is 2010, so 15 years ago. But he's like, yeah, stay here, because he thought I was still awake, but really I didn't hear anything. Like just blank face. Then I'm all washed, like almost falling out of the ring, because it was bad. It was bad.
And when you started, Jared, I'm not sure. Was there like, because I was interested in doing, I never ended up doing it, but
Yeah.
I wanted to do an amateur fight. Was there amateur fights when you started? Or did they just throw you right into professional?
They threw you right into professional. I don't know. It's not as crazy as it sounds. One, when you're pro, I made $200 to fight and $200 to win, and I made $200. I actually lost money in my first fight. Like, it was like, you do this out of passion.
Yeah.
And by losing money, it's like my medicals cost me $500. To give you an idea, right? So I got $200. I wouldn't even made my money's back, because you got to get your CT scan. You got to do all that stuff, right? It's obviously a passion. You pay for it, and you put your time in. Okay, where was that?
So
The-
I was
this
asking you
question
about the first fight and if you had to go professional or amateur.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
that happens. And then how did you feel after that? What was next for you after that fight?
Oh well, that was really humiliating. Like I think I sold 30 tickets for that. And I think maybe 4 or 5 of those people ever came to watch me fight again. Yeah, it was really bad. It was a terrible first impression for some of these people. And to the point where they never came back. It was humiliating. And I remember a couple of people told me on the phone, maybe the next day or the next few days, they're like, man, you can't quit after that one. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Well, obviously you didn't, because just a little sneak peek into Jared's future. One of the last fights I ever saw you, and you won the light heavyweight championship in Unified. And it was amazing. I don't know if that was your last fight you did.
Yep. Yeah.
I just remember watching you, and I was so happy for you. And you ended up having a 9-4-1 professional fighting record, which is pretty good, man. Like that's a good record, and winning a championship. So what made you want to continue? Like, you continued training after that first loss. Like, you didn't give up. Most people would give up, man. And you're a person, like, I've met you and known you all this time. You just keep going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would say, you know what, man? Like, I've been learning this now later in life, and I've been doing it this whole time. It's like forward thinking. I actually learned this from Atomic Habits. Have you ever heard of the book?
Man, I should probably.
I can't remember. James Clear, wicked book. And he was talking, a lot of those habits I already had. I just couldn't articulate. Not all. I learned a lot from him as well, but it was really neat because one of them was identifying as a person that doesn't do or does do the habit, right? So he was saying, like, a smoker. It's like, I'm not a smoker anymore. That's who I am. So that's one of the things that you have to start thinking if you want to quit smoking, right? So it was the same thing as a fighter. Like, even in this humiliating first fight, I committed. I'm like, I'm a fighter, man. This is what's going to happen. Now, there's still a lot of doubt. I was really nervous about my second fight that I went out and did really well on. But that really solidified it. And I'm like, no, I'm a fighter. This is me. And I took on that identity, and it's kind of the rest followed. My body followed. My mindset followed. All my habits followed.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
Yeah, well, obviously you became a champion.
yeah.
Like, I always wanted to know, like, because I've seen you accomplish a lot of things since I've known you. And I was always wondering, like, how did he become successful? Because when I joined the gym, like, I told my story already. We don't need to hear that. But I was telling you guys when you came in here, I was like, when I first walked in there, I saw you and a couple other guys. Maybe I'll get to them in the future, but I was like, I want to be like him. I saw you, the way you carried yourself. I was like, that guy looks like what I want to model into. So I'm like, I got to become friends with this guy.
Yeah.
So I kind of started getting to know you, and you were very welcoming, and I was kind of intimidated, man, going into like a place like that, because like all these like fighter guys, and I was like just some dude. And I was always wondering how you were able to find success in everything you've done. Like it's very inspiring for me.
Well, thanks, bro. I would say success boils down to three things. So with some luck mixed in there. So I like the one saying, you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. You ever heard that one?
I've heard that.
Yeah, that's a big one. But there's three things that you need if you want to be, let's say, an expert. Let's not say elite. Let's not see the greatest ever, but an expert. And what would you say the definition of an expert is? What's an expert?
I kind of read something that said like anyone who's done something for 10 years.
10 years, 10,000 hours.
Yeah, there's something
right?
along those lines. Yeah, you become an expert in that field.
Do you know how long it takes to get 10,000 hours doing it 3 hours a day?
No.
9 years.
9 years.
3 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Should you imagine doing jiu-jitsu 7 days a week, 3 hours a day? That would be a lot.
Man, my body be broken.
It takes a long time, right?
Yeah.
So that would be 2 days for 9 years straight. What else though? You could become an expert and work really fast.
Yeah.
40 hours a week, that goes fast.
Yeah.
Right? That's 8 hours instead of 3 hours. That'll cut your time in half. But that's to become an expert. So if you want to be good at anything, and you pick it, man, like learning a language, I don't know, a sport, video games, I don't care. You could be really good at lawn mowing, I don't know. But you got to have three things. And for me, you have to be consistent with your drive. So you got to know how to grind. That's the shitty part. It's the boring, monotonous, annoying habits that you have to hit constantly. For me, it was just putting my head down and training. And in my mind, I train twice a day. I'm a fighter. That's what I do. So I have to do that.
Having a family, like the kind of time you take because you were working a full-time job, running your own business at this time, right?
Yeah.
Training twice a day.
Like, I mean, listen, it wasn't all rainbows and lollipops. Like I did get divorced, and that was a big part of it. I'm not proud of that. That's not amazing. But the time it took, and then listen, for the business, I was a guy in my garage for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to be a guy in your garage. You make business money by the hour plus your profit. So you can, I don't even know what the word is. You could comfortably scrape by, make your bill payments and train that much. So it's not that crazy. In fact, I put a lot of things off to train that hard and to be that focused. So that's like I was saying. So we got the number one. It's that consistency. It's just like in bodybuilding, you're eating perfect every day, and it's not one day or 1 week. It's weeks and months and years stacked on to each other, right? You have to do that, and it's gonna have to be constant and consistent. So no breaks. You do it all the time.
Wow.
That's the first thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Second thing, you need to have good peers around you. So with MMA, I had great teams. I went to different gyms, and my gyms had awesome guys. In some cases, guys in the UFC and at the highest levels that were able to help me. So with a good team, you get what's like Forrest Griffin called it a training sandwich, right? So you got the guys in the middle that at your level that you use to push yourself and go with. To test yourself realistically. You got the lower level guys that you can beat up and try out and help teach, which makes you better. And then you got the high guys where you throw the sink at them and you still get your butt kicked, but you still learn, right? So you have that group and peer group that you have to have that. You're never going to, No. Let's say you're learning a language. You need people around you to talk to. You can't. It's going to be really hard to learn Spanish just by yourself, not talking it. It's going to,
Yeah.
right. And then finally, the most important and the thing that I think people neglect the most is a solid mentor or coach. You need to have somebody that's been there, that's done it, or knows the path. Otherwise, you're just trying to figure it out yourself. That's like, could you imagine trying like, I don't know what, like engineer a computer without anyone to kind of point you in the right direction? It would take you 1,000 years.
Well, that's like kind of where I was like with you. I remember you spent a lot of time trying to teach me. And I look to you as like a teacher, a mentor, kind of like an older brother. I've always looked up to you even since I met you. And the time you took for me, like without you, I'd probably still be trying to learn how to do a triangle.
Bro, you're fun to teach.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were a very, like we started and it was hard. Right.
Yep.
It took a long time. But once you started getting graph, started to shoot. Yep. And then for me too, like that was good for me to learn like your brain type. I mean, I've met a lot of guys like you now. I understand how you guys think and how you communicate, and it's really important for me too.
Yeah.
Because there's all types of people, and you got to know how those people, well, you don't have to, but I highly suggest you know how to work with those people. Just the more people you can work with, the better, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool how you used all those different steps, you have 1, 2, and 3, and you became a champion. Like when you won that championship, like how did you feel, man? Like, cause I was
That
so
was cool.
like you had a big belt and
Yeah,
you
that
brought
was
it to the
pretty
gym.
Came over. Yeah, that was okay. So that was really cool. I mean, it was cool. It was something physical that I could take in that 8 years that I went. Not everyone can say that, and you know, it's a nice little feather in my cap.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was a cool little. Actually, at the time, you know, when you're a fighter, man, you think you're just the best. You're so almost like full of yourself. So I was like, yeah. This is what I deserve. I should have this. I'm supposed to have this.
I think that goes with the mindset though, because if you don't believe in yourself,
Yeah, man.
I don't think you're going to accomplish anything at all.
Totally.
And like you had to have that belief in yourself to get there, and you did
To
it.
some level, you know. Yeah, for sure.
So I remember, so you win the championship, and I remember they actually ended up shutting combat sports down for a bit in Edmonton after this,
Yeah.
because you were supposed to have a fight after. I think it was Unified 30.
Don't ask me the number.
I can't remember. I had a poster actually on my wall,
I still have it.
and yeah, you have some cool posters that you mentioned. And I remember, so you end up retiring and from fighting after around this point.
Yeah.
And then you got more into jiu-jitsu training, and from
Yeah.
there, you were a purple belt when you retired, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So also, something I forgot to ask you, like injuries over all this time, like how many injuries did you battle through while doing all this? Like,
Next to none, man. I was a tank. Like my whole MMA career, let's see, I broke my hand 2 different times in 2 different fights, which is crazy. Like, and that's normal in a fight. You kind of expect some craziness. That's a crazy part about MMA is you get in there and man, even if you win, you take damage, which sucks. It's like it can be really, I don't know. I guess that's why people respect it. It's painful and crappy and it hurts, but man, it's awesome to overcome. But yeah, I not a lot of injuries. I popped some ribs one time. I was feeling better in about 2 weeks. And I don't know, man. I don't think I was the kind of guy that ever pushed my tank so hard that I would hurt myself. I kind of knew when I was tired and I wouldn't try it. And then I think I just got some strong Swedish joints or something. Good ligaments and tendons.
because that's very rare to hear from a lot of guys. Like a lot of guys are like getting surgeries all the time, or like their knees are destroyed, elbows.
Else, man, my style was kind of grapple heavy. I didn't love striking. I would just strike to get a hold of you, and then I'd haul you down. And yeah, there's jiu-jitsu injuries, but also I would just say I'm a wrestle, get on top kind of guy, and Not a lot of weird twisted knees there. Not a lot of weird, rib injuries or anything. What else happens to MMA guys? Like it's usually like some kind of knee.
Getting knocked out like constantly.
Yeah,
You
I
lose your
saw a
chin.
lot of that. I saw a lot of that with some guys. Yeah, I guess, you know what? Who knows what kind of brain damage I've taken? There's some injuries that weren't really written down or anything like that. So
Yeah, I was always wondering about that. Like what kind of precautions they took after for you guys, even being in like the local scene. Sorry about that. I forgot my phone was on. Because like I was wondering if they take you guys for like scans and stuff after here. Did they have you checked out by like a paramedic at the local level or?
yeah, after the fight, there's a doctor there. He always checks you, and then you get a suspension,
Oh,
medical suspension. If you fight and you don't get touched, you get 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks. And
That-
like if you're
But
not,
that means you can't take a fight.
oh,
That doesn't stop anyone from training or doing anything.
I wonder if that's changed since that incident here.
I mean, possibly that was a whole lot of missed things, and that was super unfortunate.
Yeah, it was terrible. I don't even want to really speak on that right
Yeah.
now. But yeah, so I'm very interested. So you end up kind of moving into retirement. You avoid a lot of injuries, which is really cool.
Mhm.
Like, good
Yeah.
for you. You're a beast. And then you get into more jiu-jitsu training, and you start becoming. You ended up winning you won a brown belt.
Yeah. COVID year. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into jiu-jitsu after grappling and stuff was my jam as a MMA fighter. You can always tell what the guy loves as an MMA fighter by what he trains right after the fight, right? So usually they take a week off or whatever, but whenever they come back, if the guy likes the ground stuff, he's always at jiu-jitsu class, but he'll chill on kickboxing. That was me. But I had some buddies that never missed kickboxing, and I was, that would always skip jiu-jitsu. So that's how you knew who liked what, and you could tell in the cage too. But yeah, that was the idea. But yeah, I'd be back training jiu-jitsu after fights. I loved it, and it was a nice, way more chill version of training, which helped me get back into balance that I shouldn't even say get back, find balance, because that was the whole idea when I quit fighting. I put all my effort into one thing. I was successful with it. Cool. Now let's balance things out and be successful everywhere. Right? That's the goal. So even with jiu-jitsu, I was really committed and worked really hard, and I got my black belt and stuff. But, now it's all about, I want to be good with jiu-jitsu. I want to be fit. I want to have a good relationship with my kids, and I want to have a successful business.
Yeah. And then you end up getting all those areas a little more sharp, because I remember like hanging out with you quite a bit during all this, and it was a really good time. But I noticed you ended up focusing more on like the business side of things, and then you said that your business was starting to get more and more successful, which was really good to hear. And you actually focused a lot on your jiu-jitsu too, which is pretty cool, because like when you're fighting, you can't really just focus on the one thing.
Yeah, fighting's tricky because fighting's 5 or 6 different sports, man. Well, you have to train your wrestling, you have to train your jiu-jitsu, you should train your boxing, kickboxing, you should do your strength and conditioning, and then you got to do your MMA.
Yeah.
And then maybe even, kickboxing's still like the taekwondo and stuff, and like you got to do your striking, you got to do everything. So, and the problem is it's really hard to be jack of all trades. You kind of got to commit to one.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the guys have been training since they're 12 probably. So now for a guy like me that started at 26, I got to pick one, right?
Yeah.
But now, it's about the balance. I remember actually a fighter shout out to Lenny Wheeler. Do you remember Lenny?
Yeah.
I remember Lenny one time. I was talking to him about my fight, and I'm like, man, he's just trying to take me down. I don't need to work my strike. He's like, well-rounded in all things. I'm like, you're right. Yeah. And ever since, it's always been like that. But Yeah, MMA is difficult to balance. You go straight to jiu-jitsu, I have one place to go. I have one class. It's 90 minutes every day. If I wanted to do 2, that's crazy, but you could do it. But yeah, it was really simple. And you could do 4 days a week if you want. That's a lot of training. It's a lot of training.
It is. And you know what's crazy? I'm just like, you've been able to find success here too.
Yeah.
Like for myself, I haven't won any major jiu-jitsu tournament, and you become a champion in MMA. And then I find people who are champions find a way to become champion.
Okay.
You found a way to become a champion in another sport in a pretty major tournament. I'm trying to remember. This was in Florida?
Yeah, for 2020 World Masters.
That's pretty prestigious for
It
me.
was decent. It was cool. But buddy, it goes back to what I was saying. It's the 3 things. It's your grind. It's having a good team. Well, let's look at Frontline. I had a ton of training, so I trained really hard. We had an awesome team at Frontline, still do.
Yeah. Shout out to Frontline.
Yeah, Pedro Lot, yeah. Professor Pedro. And
Master.
then I had a great teacher, but not just one. Like I had a bunch of kind of mentors that helped me get better.
Yeah.
And I would consider myself an expert. Am I elite? No. But, I definitely got my 10,000 hours in.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And because of that, I've been able to win. So it's the same for everything. If you want to be successful or an expert, which means you'll be successful. Right? Am I wrong? If you're an expert, you're going to be successful.
It might take you. It's hard for myself. It's hard to find success, but when you become an expert, I'd say you've been successful.
Okay.
Hand in hand.
Sure. But I feel like
agree.
you have that potential to be successful as an expert. You have a step up on others, and I'm just applying the formula to everything. And now I'm doing it for business, and I don't know. I'd put myself at some kind of like blue belt or purple belt at business where I'm getting it, but I'm nowhere near an expert yet. I still got a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, man, like if you're a purple belt, you're still pretty good. You still beat a lot of people up, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm a purple belt in the business, it means I'm making money. It means I'm doing well. It's just, I could do better. I could make more money.
That's also a good mindset, because there's like, I have to score myself the other day, and someone's like, I have to score like some employees that are working under me still.
Yeah.
And I said, I was doing an interview for someone actually, and they said, wait, what would you give this guy over 1 to 10? I'm like, about an 8. And I'm like, and an 8 or a 9 is as high as I'm going to score anybody, even myself. I said to the lady asking me the questions.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, why is that? I'm like, because everybody can always get better. Like, I don't think anyone's going to get a perfect 10. And she's like, oh, that's a pretty good answer. I was like, well, I feel about myself. I'll never give myself a 10. Never. You have to, I'm kind of like my hardest critic.
Yeah.
And I think you need to be like that if you want to be good at anything. And I'm not sure if that's kind of the way you think as well, but
I like it, man. There's a lot of truth to that. You can always improve. It can always be better. And there's always positive out of things too.
and it's like, I hear a lot of black belts say, like, I've heard this speech a few times, like get their black belt and they're like, this is only the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I'm like a white belt all over again. I don't know if you felt that way when you got yours, because you got your black belt a couple of years after you finish fighting. You get more serious, and you were serious before, but you get more involved in jiu-jitsu, and then end up getting your black belt. You've been a black belt for like
3 years. I just got my stride. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
No,
Man, that's a big deal to me. It's all long to become a black belt. Some people it takes to become a doctor, right?
Yeah. Well, it took me about 14 years.
So it's 14 years.
Yeah, 14.
I was going to ask you that, so you answered it for me.
14. So I guess I've been doing jiu-jitsu since 2009. So 16, 3 years. Yeah, somehow the math works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask me, man. I barely passed math class. So you get into that, and then you kind of get, like you said, more serious in business. You said you're about a purple belt in business now. So what did you do to start building yourself to get your business be more successful?
I leaned really hard on this thing called BNI.
Okay.
Which is
what does that stand for? Business
Networking International, not B and I. It's BNI. And it's a networking group that's big on helping each other out, talk about it like they're we join a chapter and we support each other and we give referrals. So we seek out referrals for these people in our chapter.
Oh.
And we all kind of commit to make sure that we do as part of the group and we try to contribute.
That's pretty cool. Is this like a weekly meeting or
Yeah.
like, is it online or?
Yeah. During COVID, it was online, and there are still some that are. I'm a full in person. Every week, it's in person. The energy's way better. I don't know. You're on Zoom. I don't know. Those Zoom meetings are brutal, man. Like, you got 30 people in a Zoom meeting. It's like imagine being in a big room. You're all in the center, and one guy is in one corner, and another guy is in another corner, and those two are talking, and you have to just sit and listen while two people talk on Zoom, because you can't. Who else is going to talk? Like it's kind of painful.
When you said Zoom there, I started to laugh because like during like COVID, they kept catching guys like jerking off. So they like forget the cameras on or whatever. So and I just could stop thinking about it. Hey, it's like whoops, I forgot to turn my camera off, everybody. Yeah. But sorry to add that in. We'll leave that.
I love it. Should make it a little spicy.
Yeah, the Zoom meeting got pretty wild today at the meeting. But so you get involved with this group, and then I think wow, I guess you became you found the way to the top again in another area, because I remember you told me at one point you were the president.
Yeah, that's not a huge deal. It's just a responsibility you get once everything changes every year, and it just worked out that I would have been a good fit for it.
Oh.
So not everyone likes to get up in front of room and talk to people publicly and stuff. So,
but not anyone can just be the president. Like they don't just. Not everyone's the president, though. Is that correct, or am I wrong, or does everyone take a turn?
I wouldn't say everyone gets a turn, but if you're in there long enough and it's part of your skill set, then yeah. But it was cool to be the president. What was neat was I saw a lot of similarities with having the belt, where it's so weird. You have this like symbolistic title or figurative belt where 5 minutes before that fight, I was the same guy, right? But suddenly now I'm the champ, right? I won the fight, sure. But if I didn't have the belt, but I won the fight, how would you even know? You probably wouldn't. But the minute you see that belt or the minute you hear the word president, people switch, and it's not just you anymore. It's you in the title.
Yep.
And people are trying to buddy up, and people just act different around the leader. So that's one observation I've noticed.
It's true.
Whether it's good or bad, it's not really, but just people change.
Yeah, I've seen that. People kind of laugh harder at your jokes, or like, hey, do you need anything?
Yeah.
Can you give me another stripe? Like whatever, like it is.
And it's tough, and most people don't even realize they're doing it. The laughing one especially. And I was a victim of it as well. I can admit, I've done that a lot, even with clients that I've tried to schmooze, or old coaches and stuff. Good one, coach. Give me a belt. It's like, come on. You got to go through it to learn that's not the way. I think anybody that's cool and collected or has any kind of, big leadership titles or whatever has at one point been the obnoxious white belt that thought he was tougher than everyone and could beat everyone up, right?
That was guilty me.
Oh,
yeah. I remember when I first joined the gym, I thought I was like, I just came out. I was pretty jacked back then, like more than I am now. And I thought I was like the Incredible Hulk. I remember like thinking I was going to like smash people through the floor. I'm like, that shit doesn't work on me. I'm just going to stand up. That's like they're humping each other. What are they doing? I'm like, yeah. Then I joined the gym, and there's guys like you and like chicks and 12-year-old kids. So I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
I was getting smashed, but it was a good humbling experience for me. And I had a question for you about being a business owner, like some of the hardships that come with that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you overcome that? Like,
what kind of hardships are you thinking?
Like dealing maybe with like employees that don't show up to work, or like maybe someone doesn't pay you for a job that you did, or like, have you had any stories like that over the year that like you can...
Well, believe it or not, people haven't really stiffed me. I couldn't tell you why.
I wonder. I wonder why.
I don't get stiffed very much, but I'm on top of it. If I was to say anything about that, man, Any problems you have with business, one, accept that it's going to happen no matter what. And second, prepare. If you prepare and have a contingency for so-and-so showing up late or not at all, or so-and-so quitting, set yourself up for that to work. So I'll tell you this, man, like, here's the thing we do with having a guy. Once in a while, guys get deal. You know, it's when it happens a lot and a person becomes unreliable. Well, maybe they're not a fit for our team because we're looking for reliable people. So what do I need to do to get someone that's a little more reliable? Sick is borderline, but let's just say someone that constantly calls in, they're not sick, or they're getting drunk on the weekends and stuff. Yeah. You can set yourself up to not have those problems. That's kind of my mindset of it. So if things happen, I look at it and I think, well, how do we change it where we wouldn't even run into this? And do it by finding more reliable people. But unfortunately, those things are going to come up.
Yeah, I guess it does come up. I see it sometimes in my work, but what's different being in the government?
Maybe, but you still have... Are there things that people complain about a lot at work? Probably. You're saying the government, they're doing a lot of dumb stuff. I don't know what. Yeah. But it's just kind of how it goes. You guys make a great wage. You get great, what is it? Is it pension benefits, and all the benefits and all that kind of stuff? Like, yeah. That's kind of that's what you get when you get these things back. Like, those.
So you basically roll with the punches kind of in life.
I learned that from a lot of great GCs. I used to get so caught up, and maybe I still would if I was back on the tools. But these GCs is whenever there's a problem, I would be losing my shit, and they would be like, okay, let's figure it out. And they're always nice, and they're always cool about it, because what good does getting mad and emotional do for anything? Anybody? Nothing. No. You're withdrawing for your bank account, and you're hurting yourself. It's the problem's there whether you're mad or not. So, and whether you're stressed or not, or whatever it may be. What's that? Oh, general contractor.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too. No, that's okay. Acronyms is always good to explain to the audience.
Sure.
Because they might not know what say light heavyweight, like LHW, for fighting terms. They might not know you're talking about. But yeah, so your business is contracting. So you have a painting company, and you like to advertise that in the name of your company's Triple M.
Yeah, Triple M Painting is the company. We service Edmonton and the surrounding area, and we're willing to do things all over. The answer is yes. What's the question, kind of thing? No. We're here to help with anybody. And if there's opportunity and we can all do well on it, I'm always open here.
That's good.
Yeah.
I remember you've been all over. I think you were out of town.
Yeah, we just landed a giant one up north and some reserves just an hour from high level. So that's 8 hours away. It's super far away.
Jeez.
But it's cool. It's going to be a great opportunity. They're compensating really well because it's so far away, and the work is going to be really hard to get stuff out. And man, I'm happy to do it.
And you got that through networking? And
yeah, man. Actually, I got through Frontline.
There you go. Yeah. I meet some of the coolest people at the gym, man.
Buddy, yeah.
Just like you. I'm joined. We were at UFC gym back then, and I met so many cool characters there. A lot of people who train and are successful at anything. I find they're usually you'll find guys are usually they own a business, or they're the manager of somewhere, or they're just successful people too, or they have some kind of cool connection. These guys that you meet and girls that you meet there, they're fantastic people, and they're so caring and helpful, and they just want to see their buddies do good.
Yeah, well, the successful ones, like I said, are doing the three things. They got a good coach, they got this, and they got that. Got a good coach, they're grinding, and they got a good team. Now they're just putting it into different categories. And maybe they're discovering it for the first time with the jiu-jitsu. it's crazy how many people never play a sport or do anything and then have never really worked at anything to be good at it. And they find it out way later in life. And it's like, you're happy, better late than never, you know, and you'll get better at learning things. And some people never learn that stuff, which is really sad.
Well, it's even, yeah, it is sad because I remember you said that because we've talked about this in the past. You said that like when you were younger, like you didn't really did you play ball hockey, but you didn't play any team sports really. And then like even to now, like just the way you transformed even from your physique. Because I remember you told, like, I could never imagine you being like an obese, overweight person. I remember you showed me a photo once. I'm like, that can't be you. I was like, no, this is a different guy. Because like you found success even in weight training now. Yeah. You've moved from like all these different areas and gotten good at all these different. Maybe you're the guy who's good at everything. And like just even seeing you the other day at the gym, like, oh, you look jacked, man. I remember like when you first started really getting into weight training, that was around maybe just before COVID. I can't remember.
About COVID, like after COVID, like during COVID.
So you were able to find another thing to be successful at because you completely transformed. Like, what did you do to do that? Did you get a nutritionist? Like, did you just figure everything out on your own, or?
And like I said, you find the right people. So, and fitness is a little different because you can find all kinds of reels. I don't know. I guess it's the same as jiu-jitsu. Instagram's wicked for that stuff. It's like I got a lot of it in my my feed. So tips and tricks and stuff are always popping up. ChatGPT I rely heavily on for my diet. But man, I've been at this for about I've been at this for a couple of years now, but this year I really dialed in the nutrition. I'm like, I'm figuring this out.
Yeah, I think nutrition is like people overlook. It's the most important part of training. Yeah.
Is it not? Like, is it not the hardest thing in bodybuilding? Is it not the hardest?
I think so.
Yeah. The working out is easy, man. That's simple. And I actually worked out consistently for 3 years. And I thought I looked awesome and stuff. And I look at my photos now and I'm like, I'm happy I've made the changes I did. Not that I'm like grossed out by myself or anything, but yeah, it's once I dialed in nutrition, now you can see all the hard work I've done with the weightlifting.
Yeah.
Right.
It definitely helps. It's like the piece of the puzzle that doesn't quite fit if you're not doing it. Like you can't just jam that. You have to have a good program for your nutrition, man.
Yep.
It's like
you won't get your car out of first gear, right? Like imagine turning your car on and it won't get out of first gear. Like that's what's happening. And then the minute your nutrition fixes, it's just boom, now you have a working car. It works. Right? Yeah. It's like that's how big of a difference it makes. It works kinda and like bad, like 20%. What's first of what, 5 gears usually? There's 5 or 6 gears, right? 20%. And then boom, you're at 100% power if you're doing it all working well. It's unfortunately all of it has to fit.
Yeah, and like all these things you're doing now, you're a pretty active guy. So how do you find balance in everything? Because like you're still doing jiu-jitsu. Now you're weight training consistently, what, 4 or 5 times a week, maybe 6 times a week. Yeah. You're like the Arnold Schwarzenegger program here. And like, how do you find the time to like people have the excuse, oh, I don't have time. What do you do to make time to do all this?
Well, a couple of things. I love it. It's really fun. I work out in the morning, so I'm up at 4:45 in the morning, and I'm at the gym by 5:30. I go do that Monday through Friday, and that's big for me because I want the same day routine. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, Monday I get up, and then Tuesday I sleep in, and then Wednesday I should go, but I'll sleep in, and I'll push it off. No, every day you wake up. You don't ever get to sleep in, so you get used to it. And then jiu-jitsu, I'm hitting twice a week. I'm on a ball hockey team. We play once a week. And then any other night, I'm trying to walk.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm one of the new things I'm looking for is trying to get my 10,000 steps. So weightlifting in the morning and either some kind of sport or walking at night.
And geez, and then how do you take time to prep your food, man? Like, are you meal prepping? Like, are you
on the weekend? And it's not that hard, dude. It's not that hard. It doesn't take long.
Okay.
I mean, oatmeal takes me the time it takes to cook. It's so quick. Yeah. And then the same with my, like I did my chicken breasts and my, what was it? Sweet potatoes yesterday.
Oh.
And then the steak I cook right there.
I'm just trying to imagine if you had had a routine like this when you were fighting.
Oh my God, I would have frick. Yeah.
Like, because you didn't have, because I remember, I don't remember discussing this in the past, but you said you didn't really have any type of like program you were using then.
Not at all.
Like, what did you do? Just because I had a friend, he fights in the UFC, and I remember working with him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you like? This was way in his, he just said that he just basically didn't eat. Like, I'm like, oh my
What I
God.
did, I went to bed hungry and I'd have freaking couple pieces of celery with peanut butter on it. And I'm like, I just need a little bit. I'll go train. Because my mindset was training to lose weight. Now it's changed to train so your body can burn the calories. Right. It's not about, because I can't remember what it's called, where it's that like 60% of the calories that are burned in your day is just you existing. Right. And the workouts that you do, even if you go really hard, it's like 5% of the calories. So it's like add 2 more hours. It's like you get to 7%, big deal. But if you get lean and you eat the proper amount of calories, it goes back to that, just like the dieting and weightlifting. Now your vehicle works properly and it sticks. And now your body's burning the calories for you. It's doing
probably
the work for you.
feel a lot better too, right?
Yeah. But I'm 42 and my knees are starting to hurt. Never perfect.
Jeez, you don't look 42, man.
Thanks.
What kind of vitamin nutrition supplements do you use? Like all that kind of stuff, or is it more nutrition for that?
Yeah, it's mostly nutrition. The supplements I'm taking is like turmeric. I just heard about. It's good for the inflammation.
Yeah.
And what else? The casein protein
Is that
before
nighttime?
bed. Yeah. I've been focusing a lot on my sleep lately too. I brought my average up from like 6.5 hours a day to like 7:40 a day.
Yeah.
So over an hour add, and that feels like it's super powered me.
Sleeping. Is this like a nap or like is this like
No.
continuous?
Right. So
He's going to
because
bed
I'm
earlier?
at 4:45, I have to like wind out at 8 p.m. So,
Yeah.
You asked me how I get my stuff done. I'm quite boring. It's, there's not much going on at night. It's like I'm doing my workout, I'm doing my walk, and then I'm like having my shake and getting my shake ready in the morning. Yeah.
I consistently hear that from like I think some bodybuilders. Like I'm not sure if it was Chris Bumstead, but he's like, I'm not a very exciting guy. I might not have been him, but you hear this a lot. They have their routine,
grind, bro.
Yeah.
Grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want
And
to
I don't
climb
know. I'm happy with that. I'm seeing a really cute girl now, and it's like that's all I need. I don't need to be out trying to meet anybody and that kind of stuff. And I meet people during the day at work. I got lots of that going on.
Yeah. Well, do you have any advice for people like that want to do what you've done, or anything you say to everybody listening? Like, how can they find the success you found in all the things that you've done in your life?
Well, triple down on that. Those 3 things. You got to grind. It's boring. It's lame, but you got to grind. You got to be consistent, and you got to put together over years. I heard a good saying too. One of the guys got his black belt. Everyone overestimates what they can do in a year, and everyone underestimates what they can do in 10. So think 10, 20. What are you going to be? My heroes in the gym are the 50-year-old guys with gray hair that are 6-pack ripped. I love those guys. I'm like, that's who I want to look like when I'm that age. Those guys are my heroes. So you got to grind it out. Secondly, get your good team. It's easy to go to the gym in the morning because I love the guys there. That's another group of guys that I love, right? It's a great community. And then finally, find a coach. Get the right coach. And if you want to be successful, those are the 3 things you need to do. And you can be an expert.
Fuck, man, that's amazing. It's like
Thanks,
what
bro.
you've done for me,
Thanks,
and
man.
what my friend Ryan's been doing for me too. I always find the guys I think are good at something, and I'm like, I gotta connect with these guys and kind of learn from them what to do.
Good,
And
man. It's a good habit. I do the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect. And
Yeah.
like at the gym with the guys with 6-pack, man. And I really thank you for being here today, and I appreciate your time. It feels like we just sat down, man. I could talk to you all day.
Was that 90 minutes?
I'm not sure. It could have been.
60
we're
minutes?
and I'd love to have you back one day in the future if you want to come back and talk
can do
more
it.
and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.